So today is part 2 of our Understanding Your Metabolism series. So as I mentioned yesterday, most people don't really understand what your metabolism is. The idea that, okay, well, my metabolism is slow, so I have trouble burning fat. Okay, that may or may not be true depending on the person, but what goes into that? How do you affect it? How do you improve it, increase it? I mean, is it something that you're just stuck with, or are there things that you can do about it? And so yesterday, I went over the 4 major components of your metabolism. So you have your basal metabolic rate, which again is, that's what we're going to go over today. That's basically all the calories that you would burn if you literally did nothing all day, if you laid in bed and didn't even roll over, okay? The second one is obviously exercise activity. So whenever you're working out, you're challenging your body, you're lifting a kettlebell, dumbbell, barbell, body weight workout, doesn't matter what it is, going for a run, the calories that you burn there. Your non-exercise activity, the general activity that you're doing throughout the rest of the day. Me waving my arms right now is non-exercise activity. Standing is non-exercise activity. And then the thermic effect of food. How much does it actually cost you to process and digest the food that you're taking in? So today we're looking at your basal metabolic rate. So your base metabolism, the calories that you burn without doing anything. So the definition, again, is the number of calories required to keep your body functioning at rest, so without doing anything. So you'll see there are several equations that you can look at. This is the Harris-Benedict revised equation. This is usually just something that you can do to run through, go, okay, how many calories do I burn doing nothing? There's several of them. They almost all land roughly in the same place. I don't want you to have to worry about the math. The goal of this is to make it simple and understandable for you, so don't worry about numbers or nothing like that. For me, it works out to about 1750. I weigh about 165 pounds. So that's where I am with this right now. And now we're going to start getting into the different things that actually move that number up or down. So my 1750, what turns it into 1850 or 1650? Okay. So first, truth is, there's a genetic component. So don't worry, it gets more rosy from here. But the truth is, there are some people who will win a genetic lottery and people who will lose a genetic lottery. And that is a reality. So it is entirely possible some of you out there may actually have been born with a slightly slower metabolism. It usually equates to 100 to 200 calories a day. So it's not a huge number, but that can be 5 to 10% of your overall calorie burn. So it is a reality. It sucks, but it can be true. And now that doesn't mean there's nothing you can do. You're going to see these other items. There are plenty of other things that you can do, but that is a reality. So solution, pick better parents. Really, there's nothing you can do about that one. I don't think it's a good idea to do gene splicing or some of this other stuff that people are talking about. This is just so that you're aware, okay, there may be a factor here, okay? Number 2, having been overweight and lost weight, okay? So people who have been overweight and subsequently lost weight typically do have a lower caloric need than the equations predict. So it's, excuse me, it's entirely possible that, that 1750 that I got, it could be up to 10% lower than that. So on a 2,000 calorie diet, that would be roughly 200 calories a day. So if I've lost weight, whether I put it back on or not, these numbers can be affected by that. So the big solution here is to not allow yourself to gain the weight back, because when you gain the weight back and then lose it again, this happens again. It may not be 10% every time. Maybe the first time it's 7%, and then it's 9, and then 10, and 11, based on significant weight loss. Okay, so it's better to, I like to tell people whenever it comes to getting into your clothes, getting into the clothes that you're wanting to get into, if you're wearing a size 14 right now, I'm picking a number out of the air, and you get into a size 10, then you throw away all your 14s, you don't keep anything bigger than a 12. And then, let's say you get into a size 8, you do the same thing. Everything bigger than the next size up, you get rid of it. You burn the bridge. I'm never wearing that again, okay? So, now, the next one, muscle mass. Ladies, hear me out, okay? So 1 pound of muscle will burn 7 to 10 calories per day, compared to white fat. I'm going to talk about other than white fat later. White fat, which burns 2 to 3 calories a day. So if you were to strictly add 10 pounds of muscle, you would be burning 70 to 100 calories more per day. And ladies, again, hear me out here. Muscle is not going to make you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or pick whatever bodybuilder you may have seen. When women gain muscle, it is feminine muscle. It looks feminine, outside of some extreme cases where people are using stuff that is not legal. So whenever the average lady adds 5 pounds of muscle, maybe adds 10 pounds of muscle on the high side, it tends to look very appealing both to you and to whoever you want it to look appealing to. So don't be afraid of muscle. Muscle is not a bad thing. You're not going to gain tons of muscle like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I promise you. So simple solution here is make resistance exercise the focus of your workouts. Got an achievement. So make resistance exercise the focus of your workouts. Cardio-based workouts lowers muscle mass, because if I'm running all the time, running doesn't require a high amount of motor output by the muscles, so it doesn't require a high amount of force by the muscles. So you will actually lose muscle over time so that you're lighter and you can go further. And you may actually even put on some fat at the same time so that you have extra fuel on board. It's possible. So focusing on resistance exercises, dumbbells, push-ups, take your pick, whatever you like. Next one, sleep deprivation. Yes, sleep deprivation can decrease your calorie burn rate throughout the day. This can be anywhere from 5 to as much as 20%, or based on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, 100 to 400 calories per day. So whenever you, and sometimes people, they'll actually stay up later doing more things, and then kind of use that as a justification. Your body needs rest. Everything slows down whenever you are sleep deprived. I mean, think about it. Are you going to be working hard and vigorously if you are having trouble staying awake? Of course not. And so by making sure that your body is getting adequate amount of rest, or at least more rest than you might currently be getting, you will burn more calories per day. So I do recommend 7 hours of sleep per night. I think 8 for most people is excessive. Dehydration. Yes, drink your water. Okay? So chronic dehydration has been proven clinically to slow down your metabolism. And on the other side, drinking just 16 ounces of water, like down 16 ounces of water, it's roughly one of the smaller water bottles a lot of people have, will boost your metabolism temporarily up to 24 to 30% on top of what it currently has been. And that's not counting the chronic effect of being better hydrated. So whenever you increase your water intake, you will burn through more calories in the short term and in the long term. So solution, drink 3 to 4 quarts of water per day. 4 quarts is a gallon. I do recommend adding a pinch of sea salt so that your body's getting some minerals that it needs to make better use of the water. And ideally, drink some water right as you wake up, 16 to 32 ounces of water right as you wake up, and then another 8 to 16, maybe 24 ounces right before you go to bed. The goal there is to minimize the amount of time per day that you spend in a dehydrated state, even if it's slight. If you have any questions, by the way, make sure that you post them in the comments below. I won't be able to answer them on video, but I will go back into the comments later and respond. All right, the next one, nutritional deficiencies. Yes, your mom was right. Take your vitamins. Often, whenever people are trying to lose weight, this is a common source of plateaus. So if you think about it, okay, if you take and you go from 2,400 calories a day to 1,600 calories a day, you just cut 33% of your food out, and all of the vitamins and minerals that came with that 33% of your food. So you're taking in fewer vitamins and minerals, and then on top of that, you're trying to burn more calories at the same time. You will run into trouble. This is often a source of plateaus when people are dieting. So taking a multivitamin has been shown in research to increase weight loss by about 6 pounds over a 6-month period, which equates actually to about 100 calories a day, give or take. That's what the math works out to. So you will lose more weight by taking a multivitamin. If you're interested in finding out what multivitamin I take, post a comment down below and I'll let you know. And then to go with this, omega-3 deficiencies. So this is fish oil, krill oil, algae oil. These are the different types of fish oils basically that reduce inflammation and overall make your body function better, improve brain health. If you are deficient in omega-3s, it has been shown to lower your metabolism up to 400 calories a day. So that's 400 calories in the wrong direction. And so if you are deficient in those and you start replenishing these deficiencies, your metabolism can start coming back up. Thyroid function. Yes, thyroid can be a huge factor in weight loss. So a slow thyroid can reduce your basal metabolic rate by 20 to 40%, or again, at 2,000 calories, 400 to 800 calories a day on the extreme sides. And a lot of times with thyroid, people who are focused on thyroid will focus on body temperature. Increasing your body temperature, it's 1 degree Celsius, so roughly from 96 to 98 degrees. So you wake up, measure your temperature first thing in the morning. If your morning temperature were to increase by roughly 2 degrees Fahrenheit, that'd be equivalent to about a 13% jump in your metabolism from where it was. So, simple solution here is first, make sure your thyroid has what it needs to function: iodine, tyrosine, selenium, and chromium. Some of these you can get from a multivitamin, some of them you need to add on top of that. But taking those supplements and then focusing on eating foods that actually elevate your temperature. You can measure that with a thermometer before and after meals. So you measure your temperature, you sit down to dinner, measure your temperature, and then finish the meal. 15 to 30 minutes later, measure your temperature again. If it's higher, then those foods were probably good for you. It is still possible to eat too much, but generally speaking, those are foods that are responding well to you and probably supporting your thyroid. If you were to do that and your temperature goes down, something was wrong with that meal. So that's something that you can do. $10 Amazon thermometer, and you can start stacking your diet with foods that increase your temperature. Brown fat and external temperature. So we already talked about, here we're talking about internal temperature, your thyroid, the amount of calories that you burn from the inside. Brown fat, first, is different than white fat. It's something that we used to think did not exist in humans, but now we know that it does exist in humans. It's more common in animals that require higher amounts of insulation. So basically what this does, it is more metabolically active, so it's completely different. You almost might want to call it something different than fat. And whenever you have more of this fat and it is stimulated, it can actually increase calorie burn up to 400 calories a day. So this is used to keep you warm. So people who are chronically cold usually have low amounts of brown fat and even if it's just a slightly impaired thyroid. So what you can do with this, drinking cold water, on top of just being better hydrated, if you took cold water, like refrigerator water, a calorie by definition is the amount of energy necessary to raise 1 liter of water 1 degree Celsius. So if we take water out of the refrigerator, I'm going to, just for simplicity, say that it's roughly 6 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it's a little cooler. And you drink that water and you bring it all the way up to roughly 36.5 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 liter of water, that's roughly 30 calories. So by drinking cold water, your body has to spend some energy to heat that up. General cold exposure. Be smart with this, of course, but whenever you go out and go for a walk, go for a run, if you do it earlier in the morning when it's cooler, maybe you wear a long sleeve shirt instead of a sweatshirt, something that doesn't give you quite as much insulation. Or if you want to go all in, you can go just with a tank top or a sleeve, like short sleeve shirt. Your body will have to spend more calories to keep your body temperature stable. And then there are certain herbs and supplements that can help your body to stimulate and generate more brown fat. Turmeric, peppers in general, green tea, fish oil, those can help your body generate more brown fat, which will help your body burn more calories without doing anything, just maintaining your body temperature. So in summary, these are just a few of them. Let's just say you lost the lottery before, so your metabolism is down maybe 200 calories, and then you've done some chronic dieting and some yo-yoing, and your metabolism is down another 400 calories. So, so you're already 400 calories in the hole. If you did these things, if you just slept 1 hour more per day, if you drank 3 liters of ice cold water, that'd be 100 plus calories a day. If you focus on stacking your diet with foods that increase your body's heat, another 200 calories a day. You add 10 pounds of muscle, there's another 70 calories a day. You take a multivitamin and fish oil, 100 calories a day. I'm using the low numbers here. And then you spend some more time embracing the cold. You turn your thermostat down. You work out in a cooler environment. I love my garage in the winter when it's like 65 in here. Maybe 50 calories more. If we add that up, we're like 620 calories. So you just increased your metabolism 620 calories a day. You've made up for whatever deficit you may have had in impaired metabolism. There you go. And for reference, walking or jogging 1 mile is roughly equivalent to 100 calories. So here's a 6-mile run. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, if you have any questions about any of these, feel free to post in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to answering some of those for you. But hopefully this is helpful. This shows you your metabolism is not set in stone. There are things you can do that will affect it. This is before we get into movement or exercise. So there are plenty of things we can do to increase the calories that you burn per day and help you lose fat faster.